Good morning, everyone. My name is Claudine Chang. I'm the founder and the chair of the APA Heritage Celebration Committee. Today is May 1st, and happy Asian Pacific American Month to everyone. Thank you. Many of us have said before, every month of the year should be Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, but we are very happy to have this federal legislation so that the entire country can celebrate the contributions and history of Asian Pacific Americans in this country. We would not be here today, and we would not have our city's celebration without having a mayor that's always make time for us and making resources available. Every staff in his office, Francis Sang, Lisa Ng, have been so supportive of everything we do, Jack Chin. So without further delay, I would like to invite our mayor to help launch our celebration this year, Mayor Edwin Lee.
Well, thank you, Claudine, and thank you for your wonderful work as well. It's my pleasure to join Board President David Chu, who's here, Jane Kim, Eric Mars here. Have I missed anybody? Okay, my eyes, I'm still, school board members, yes. And our session recorder, Phil Chang, school board Norman Yee, everybody. Okay. I'm getting up there, 60, man, going downhill afterwards. But it's great to join everybody here to kick off. We could be elsewhere. We could be protesting all day today on something, but we're here celebrating our Asian Pacific Heritage Month. And it's a month-long celebration of recognition of the things that we've been doing to promote heritage. And this year's theme, of course, is advancing education, which is sorely needed by everyone, but it's something that we naturally do. And I want to welcome everyone here from Japantown, Korean community, Filipino community, our Southeast Asian community, Vietnamese community that's growing, the Samoan community that's growing, all of our Asian population working together to promote this month and to really be able to tell more stories about who we are. It's a wonderful country. As you know, I just came back from Seattle, my hometown, and so I've got my own homegrown Seattle jokes that I might be able to tell you today. It'll ruin your day, but anyway, it's great to just link up roots, and that's what I did. I kind of went back to my high school and to Beacon Hill, where I grew up, and just kind of rethought through the steps of how I got to San Francisco and the people that I got to work with. I met with housing groups up there who still resonated with our international hotel struggle that indicated in housing. Just a lot of community groups that were part of my own personal history, but now have become part of our whole West Coast history and the history that we celebrate, because it's really all the same thing. Every city, whether it's New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Seattle, or San Francisco, the Asian populations have grown. They've matured well beyond the immediate immigrant groups, but they still have those very strong ties, ones that are reminded of us constantly, because we have a very constant live immigrant population that wants to be involved with everything that we do and decide, that know that with the leadership that we have of the board now and with all of our other elected officials, there's much more than just being part of an immigrant group. It is now, I think, more and more, we're part of the American foundation of both freedom but also life. And it is up to us now to kind of take our position, and I speak a little bit as mayor, but I think in everything that we do, whether we're heading a nonprofit, heading up a government service, department head, it's our responsibility to represent everyone. And that's probably, the greatest story, I think, for Asian Americans is that everybody now looks to us to also be part of everyone else's leadership and community building the bridges with business, building community safety, all of the cultural connections. We can readily understand other groups that struggle easily because we come from a whole history of struggle. And that's why I wanted to mention the International Hotel, because that still unites us. It's still something that we want to build on. And whether we're heading up some of the greatest museums, Jay Shu, and in our whole city, but it's world renowned. We get to represent our culture in so many ways, and so I want to thank you for doing your part in joining the rest of the city and celebrating this. We're going to have a month long because I think it takes a whole month to really recognize all of the different subgroups that are part of the Asian American experience. And I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to be a part of this great city that welcomes everyone, but also creates opportunity for everyone to participate. I'm looking forward to Ted's whole street celebration as well, but all of you will have your own individual connections to the Asian Pacific American experience, and I will try to get to as many as I can, but it will be both celebratory and education at the same time. Most importantly, I think we have to make sure that we speak to all of our youth, because they are now responsible for carrying on all these traditions that we have. And I love it every time I see more of our youth embrace that culture and make sure they're not just totally living in the day and now, but if they can help create the immigrant experience, growing up in our immigrant communities, and then celebrating that as they take up more responsibility in business and education and all the community leaderships that they have. It'd be wonderful to carry on that for all Asian American groups that are formed here in our great city. That's why we're working really hard with our school district to make sure that the cultural connections are always going to be there. Because if you understand where you came from, you're going to know pretty much where we're going ahead and how we can create more connections with people to come together on it. So thank you for celebrating APA month. This is just the beginning, and I look forward to going to every neighborhood of our city and celebrating with you. Thank you.
And we thank you. We look forward to seeing you at our proclamation signing ceremony next Monday. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask our elected officials to come forward as a group so we can be efficient with our time. Can we, Norman? As well, our school board members, Norman Yee and Emily, and I know Sandra Lee Few is here. At this point, I'd also like to acknowledge the two 2012 celebration co-chairs this year, because they have been really doing a lot. Tobin Suji, who is also the co-chair of the awards committee. Tobin. And everything else we need to do, we call Rose Chung. Rose, thank you very much. So first and foremost, I'd like to invite our board president, David Chu, followed by our various other supervisors. David?
Good morning, everyone. If Claudine had not invited our electeds to come together, look behind me. Just a couple of years ago, when I ran for office for the first time, there was only one Asian official who had an office on the second floor here in this building. And now we have so many that Eric Marr and I get confused all the time. Carmen and Jane get confused all the time. We are at a new point in our community, and we are here really in part because of all of you, because of the work that has been done across all of the sectors that we have represented here, from the private sector to government to the nonprofit sector, because of all the diversity of communities that we have represented here, and I'm not even going to go through the list, but we really represent the world's diaspora, the world's immigration stories here in our city, the capital for the country of Asian Americans. So I just want to briefly say welcome on behalf of the Board of Supervisors. We look forward to a wonderful month of celebrations. Next week, in addition to the ceremonies that we will have across the street, at the Board of Supervisors next Tuesday, we will be acknowledging each district supervisor, Asian American heroes within our midst. So thank you so much for being part of this amazing community, and we look forward to continuing here in our Year of the Dragon. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to say it's not just those of us standing up here, but it's your leadership and the organizations that you've led over the years that make Asian Pacific Americans in San Francisco so strong and with a great voice. My name's Eric Marr. I'm from the Richmond District. I wanted to say that the theme of advancing education has been really important to a lot of us that have served on the school board, served hard time on the school board, sometimes it feels. Yeah, there's many of us that are here. But I wanted to say that Asian Pacific Heritage Month allows me to think about how it was 30 years ago on June 19th when Vincent Chin was killed, and there's a movement that grew, the Justice for Vincent Chin movement, among many grassroots organizations here. I was a student at UC Davis, and it transformed my life, and it made me find a purpose to use my legal education, my political training, and all of the work that I had done to really put it into leadership, but also helping with grassroots organizing to make sure that there's new generations of people that keep coming. Also, it's May Day today, and I always say that 30 years ago on May 1st, many of us, Felix is shaking his head, we founded an organization called the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, honoring Philip Veracruz, Beverly Uehara, who led Apala here in San Francisco, and many, many others in our city, and the struggles of working people and families in our communities. So it's May Day 30 years ago that I feel that strength standing on the shoulders of many Asian Pacific Islander worker organizations and leaders. I also wanted to say, too, that we have so many stories to tell in Asian Pacific Heritage Month. When I was in the classroom, and I think Eddie knows this, that even stories of Eddie Zheng's struggles, but also how he empowers young people to turn their lives around is so inspiring, and we need to keep telling those stories, or how Emily and her family, tremendous leadership for generations in Japantown and the Japanese American communities, but we need to tell those stories. And lastly, my daughter's 12 now, same age as a number of other kids of our families, and I think part of Asian Pacific Heritage Month is making sure that she knows about Apala and May Day, about Vincent Chin and advancing justice in the Asian American communities. And I first met Mayor Ed Lee when he was a hardworking attorney at the Asian Law Caucus, and the Law Caucus just celebrated their 40th anniversary with the founders and many other organizations that spread throughout the country that were a key part of the Justice for Vincent Chin movement. But I like to say that for my daughter, she needs to know about the people, the stories, and to be proud of who she is and have a Pan-Asian consciousness about her. So that's why I'm so proud to be here today with all of you, the leaders that are in the audience, but also my colleagues here up here as well. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and I just want to recognize also Supervisor Carmen Chu has joined us as well. And the mayor had talked about the I Hotel, and I was born a month before the evictions. The evictions where we evicted a lot of our Filipino and Chinese seniors from the I Hotel, and it was really amazing to be at the organization that got to rebuild the I Hotel at Chinatown Community Development Center. I know last year we celebrated a lot about the newness of Asian American political leadership, where we were able to say that we have our first appointed Chinese American mayor, our first ever Chinese American president of the Board of Supervisors, and we had our first ever Filipino president of the Board of Education, who was also our first ever Filipino on our Board of Education. And I think that now in our second year, I mean, I think we're really here. And we really need to reflect upon what leadership now means for our entire city as Asian Americans take up those positions. And I know the theme this year is education, and on the school board, you know, we're roughly about 35% of the city populations, but at the school district, Asian American students are almost 50% of our public education system. And so we have a lot of Asian Americans coming up through the pipeline that are waiting to take these positions of leadership. And I'm really excited that 40 years after we fought for Asian American Studies and Ethnic Studies at San Francisco State, establishing the first ever Ethnic Studies department here in the country, 40 years later, roughly in 2009, SFUSD finally joined in, and we now have Ethnic Studies in all of our high schools here in San Francisco. And it is so important for our young people to understand how important our history is, but how integrated our history is in building this city and in this country. And so I think there's a lot that we can celebrate and reflect on, but also causes us to think about what is the future for our community as we are now such an integrated and central part of this city. So it's really an honor to be here today, and I guess I will bring up Supervisor Carmen Chu.
Thank you, Jane, and I'm absolutely pleased to be here with all of my colleagues on the board, but also with all the other electeds who are here as well, and Mayor Lee, who is here as well. Today, we are here to celebrate Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and this really kicks off sort of the celebrations that we'll be having and also the recognitions that we'll be giving. But I apologize first, I was at a budget meeting, and so sadly, that is coming before us quickly, and so we have to spend some time there. And I guess it is true, Asians are probably good at math, huh? I'm just joking. There are many other things that we're very good at, as you can see, across from all the places, all the people who are here today. We have people who are education leaders who clearly have expertise in education and school policies, which is very important. Our president of the board used to be and run small business, and so many, many different expertise, levels of expertise. And I think that's what I really want to speak about. Oftentimes when we think about Asian Americans, we fall into stereotypes. We're good at math, maybe we're doctors, maybe we're lawyers, but that really isn't the case. We have individuals in our communities who are poor, who are rich, who have been here for a long time, who are new immigrants. And each one of us, no matter what your position, has a very strong place in creating the history and the fabric that is part of our country here. And so I really just wanted to emphasize the fact that every piece of every individual who is here contributes to our history, our shared history in the United States and in San Francisco. Whether you're a little kid who is going to school and who's part of a school project and a dance performance, whether you're an elected leader like our mayor, Ed Lee, we all have a piece in creating this fabric, this wonderful history that is the Asian Pacific American history. And so I wanted to just kick off and thank everybody who has been part of that here, everybody in the crowd who is here today, all of our journalists, our media, who helps to spread this message, and of course people who are up here today. So thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, all the members of the Board of Supervisors. I just want to say that they don't just celebrate and support our volunteer effort in name. They actually have all made contributions to our nonprofit organizations, and thank you so very much, every single one of you. At this point, we have Norman Yee, President of the School Board, and maybe other school board members can join you at the same time.
Thanks, Claudine. I'm Norman Yee. I'm president of the school board, and I have 3 other colleagues on the school board: Emily Morase, Sandy Fiore, and Hydra Mendoza was here. So we are 4 APA school board members out of the 7. In fact, our budget committee is made up of two Asian Americans, so I guess we are good at math. But I'm so happy to be here to celebrate the month of the Asian Pacific Heritage Month. We as a people have enriched the American society, as has many other ethnic groups. And I want to say that in advancing education, the theme makes a lot of sense because, as many of us know, in the Asian American community, education is very, very important to us. This is the system that's going to equalize all of us in terms of advancing our life. So I want to say one thing, that we didn't start today in terms of celebrating our heritage. The school district is rich with examples of how we have honored and recognized individuals in the Asian American community in terms of their contributions. We have several schools named after Asian Americans. That includes John Yi Hall Chin Elementary School, includes Alice Fong Yu Alternative School. It includes John Yi Hall Chin and Gonijay Lau and Rufasawa School of the Arts and Yik Wong. So these are thank you. And so again, it's an example how the school district plays a role not only to educate our kids with the textbooks, but also as a model to say, look, these people were very important people that made a difference in the lives of San Franciscans and Americans. And here it is, the name of the schools for them. So thank you very much.
Look, the City College trustee, Steve No, is also with us. Thank you for being here. As you all see, the very nice picture, poster here. Every year we have a poster with our theme so that we can promote public awareness that the month of May every year is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. This great design is also the same design you see on Muni buses. I want to acknowledge Vicky Wong, Kelly Cole, Edward Fong, the team from Day Advertising, from your great design and helping us promote awareness. At this point, we should really acknowledge our major sponsors, because without the support of the business community, we really cannot have make this happen. And I really was we were also thankful for your continuous support and understanding the need and speaking to and with the Asian Pacific American community. This year, again, our presenting sponsor, Target, Dean Osaki is with us. Dean, would you like to come say a few words?
Good afternoon. I'm a little intimidated with this row of city officials behind me. But Claudine, thank you for your leadership. Once again, Target is proud to be the sponsor of what you do during APA Heritage Month. And I would say, as an Asian American born and raised in this wonderful city, I think San Francisco should celebrate APA Heritage Month like no other city. And we are proud to be part of it. You know, Asian Heritage Month is really a time to celebrate our rich cultural history. And Target values diversity both within our employees and the work we do in our community. Target has given up 5% of its revenue every year. That equals about $3 million every week. Education happens to be the cornerstone and the heart of Target's giving. We have collaborated with several organizations this year to celebrate the month of May, including the Asian Pacific Fund, the Asian Heritage Festival, and of course, our friends at the Asian Art Museum. There is a common theme this year, and it is around education, honoring students, teachers, and educators. This coming Monday, we've partnered with the San Francisco Unified School District, and our employees from Target will be visiting Title I schools throughout the Sunset and Richmond neighborhoods, donating over 5,000 books from local Asian authors. Each student will receive 4 books, and we have a special surprise. One of those authors, Olympic gold medalist Christy Yamaguchi, will join us and do a reading from her newest book. Target truly believes in being a part of the fabric of this community, and it is ingrained in our culture. I'd be remiss not to mention, and it's much overdue, that we do look forward to seeing all of you at the grand opening of City Target coming this October. So with that, thank you very much, and here's to APA Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you to Target. This year, we also have 2 major sponsors that have really stepped up to the plate and increased their sponsorship. At really hard times like this, it's very hard. So I'd like to acknowledge AT&T. Jason Chen is with us today. And we also have the Academy of Art University. They have really joined us in the celebration this year. In fact, together with the Academy, we are launching a new program, a PSA design contest, which we will see who the winners are next Monday. So representing President Elisa Stevens is Susan Tolan. Susan, would you like to say a few words?
First of all, I'd like to thank Claudine for pulling us into this wonderful celebration. The Academy of Art loves to be involved in community projects, and we participate in many things across the city and in the Bay Area. We're the largest private school of art and design in the country. We have 18,000 students, although not all of them are here because we have an online program, but we are very well represented in the diversity of our student population, and we know the strength that that brings to our institution. It's the strength it brings to this community. So we're pleased to be part of this. Thank you.
I know many of our officials have to go back to work and committees, so you may leave if you need to. You're welcome to stay, please. Stay if you can, but if you need to go back to work. I next like to acknowledge our sponsors at the Heritage Patrons level. Craft Food, who has been with us for many, many years. Craft Ron Lee. Is Ron Lau here, please? Hi, Ron.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank you. Thanks, Claudine, for all her hard work with the APA. And I am a native son, so you know what? This has special meaning to me. I am with Craft Foods, and we've been, when I entered Craft, there wasn't much diversity, but I'm happy to say that we're on that road. The diversity road. We plan to grow all the positions in diversity. So I'm happy to join and celebrate with APA, and glad to be here. And thank you, Claudine. Thank you very much.
Every time anybody thanks me is to thank to the entire committee. I just want you to know there are over 15 people that work very hard and volunteer their time for the last 6 months. And from Pacific Gas and Electric, our friend Ontario Smith.
I've learned. I went after Dean last year too, so I actually wrote some words down so I didn't look quite so bad in comparison. PG&E is really proud to sponsor APA Heritage Month once again. This is a month where we all come together to celebrate the struggles and the accomplishments of the APA community. The diversity of the community manifests itself in so many ways, from food to art to political leaders, that it's abundantly clear that this great city would not be quite as great without their contributions. So on behalf of our 20,000 employees, I want to congratulate you and wish you a great month of celebration. Thanks.
Thank you. And also at the Heritage Patrons level, we have Wells Fargo and Maggie, our San Francisco president.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Claudine and her 15-people committee to do a wonderful job every year. And Wells Fargo is proud to continue to support the APA month. Wells Fargo, on behalf of 9,000 team members in Bay Area that we are working, we have around 1,000 team members is Asian American and join our Asian American network within our company. So we are really proud of the company that they continue to support the community to make sure every community is successful. Because we believe only our community success, we will have success. So looking at this month, besides APA month, yesterday, I think I see many of you in the California leadership, and not too long ago, we were in Chinese hospital fundraising, and we also participate in the education, and this month is also a small business month, and that definitely is a very busy month for all of us. But you can see that Wells Fargo trying to be everywhere to continue to support the community the every way that we can. So we look forward to the APA month that we celebrate with the street fair, attending the Asian Art Museum, all this wonderful celebration, celebrating our culture, our history, and accomplishment as well. And besides that, we also want to celebrate with all the honoree, all the wonderful job that they did. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, Wells Fargo. I'd also like to acknowledge many other sponsors at the different levels and supporting us as heritage partners. We have Lennar Urban, Recology, Southwest Airlines. I know Kim Delafet is with us. Kim. And thank you to Southwest Airlines. They are contributing 2 round-trip tickets to each of the award winners of this year. So thank you, Southwest Airlines. And of course, Walgreens, our newest and latest supporter, Walgreens, and Cindy Ma is here and her team. Thank you, Walgreens. And as the Heritage Friends, we have our new supporters. We really appreciate them. Bank of East Asia, Cathay Bank, Comcast, the Japan Merchants Association, another new supporter, Portsmouth Square Garage Association, Private Protection Services, and our returning supporter, Sugar Bowl Bakery. Thank you so much. And at this time, I'd like to bring on a very special friend to our community, Phil Ting, assessor recorder. I've known Phil many years in our work on nonprofit communities, and Phil has been really a good spokesperson for the APA community and Citywide. Phil Ting.
Thank you, Claudine. I guess I get to back cleanup of some sorts. It's an honor to be here today. Again, thank you to Claudine Cheng for your incredible hard work. I know it was really Claudine's energy and drive and her commitment to our community to really make this possible. I think it's so important not just to be visible in all our communities, whether it's in Chinatown or in the Sunset or the Richmond or the OMI or in Viz Valley, but that we are also visible in City Hall. So that's why this Heritage Month is so important, that we are here as a community, that we are out not just in the neighborhoods, but we are out here in City Hall and in the main part of San Francisco. It's really important that people see that we are active in every single facet of our city, every single part of civic life. And so I just want to, again, reiterate my thanks to all the sponsors, all the nonprofit groups, all the community groups. And we have a very special list of community sponsors who, without their specific report, whether they're a nonprofit, a professional organization, this festival would not be possible. We want to thank the Asian Peace Officers Association, the Asian American Recovery Services, Chinese American Citizens Alliance, the San Francisco Lodge, Commissioner Irene Yee Riley over there in the corner, again, Commissioner Claudine Chang, the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce, Angela Louie and Hannah Zen. I don't know if Angela's here. Local 38 Plumbers Union, OCA San Francisco Bay Chapter, the Pacific Asian American Women's Bay Area Coalition, otherwise known as PABAC, and of course, last but not least, the San Francisco Taipei Sister City Committee. So again, thank you all for making this possible and making this an incredible kickoff to our APA Heritage Month. Thanks.
The main actually reason of why we are gathering here is to learn who the finalists are for this year's APA Heritage Awards. So please stay for that, because we will not be serving lunch without announcing them. As the mayor and everybody have said, there are plenty of celebrations around the city during the month of May. We have 3 very important partners in this celebration with us. Director Jay Su from the Asian Art Museum, Executive Director Audrey Yamamoto from the Asian Pacific Fund, and Ted, I don't know if he gets here yet because he said he's not here yet, from Asian Week Foundation, who runs the Heritage Street Fair. So we would like them to come up here to say a few brief words about their activities. Dean, would you like to say anything else? Oh, okay. So Director Su and Audrey.
Thank you. I'm delighted and honored to be here. The Asian Art Museum share the same mission as the APA Heritage Month, to honor Asian American contributions, the traditions, and the living cultures that we are making every day. And just to be brief, that I'm very pleased that our museum will be among the first acts of the APA month. This coming Sunday, May the 6th, we'll have our first free Sunday. Among the rich program we'll offer, we're going to collaborate the Asian Pacific Fund for a program called Growing Up Asia in America. We'll be very pleased to partner with Asia Pacific Fund. And then throughout the month, we offer very rich programs. And also on May the 19th, we'll have a second free Sunday. It's a free family day. And this same day, we'll have the street festival that Ted is putting together. So it's another opportunity to collaborate with Asia Week Foundation. So come to visit the museum throughout the month of May. We are here to celebrate with all our communities, the wonderful accomplishment of our community and the Asian Pacific American people. And also, I'd like to mention, in the middle of May, our museum will unveil a very large sculpture right in the Civic Center here. It's going to be a living blossom. It's folds and opens and closes. It's in the form of a red lotus. And we know lotus is an important symbol for many Asian cultures. So come here to celebrate, and also I hope our red lotus will be the icon for our city during the months of APA month. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Audrey Yamamoto, the Executive Director and President of the Asian Pacific Fund. We are a community foundation that supports the health and well-being of all Asian Americans throughout the Bay Area. And we are thrilled to be part of this year's celebration with our annual art and essay contest, which is called Growing Up Asian in America. This year's theme was Bridges, in honor of the 75th anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge. And after our ceremony that will be at the Asian Art Museum on this Sunday, May 6th at 10 a.m., we will be sending a traveling exhibit that showcases all of the winning entries to 50 different libraries throughout the Bay Area and giving access to over 1 million library visitors. So I hope that you'll be able to experience the rich content of the youth voice that's such an important component of this year's celebration. either at the Asian Art Museum this Sunday or at one of the 50 libraries that they'll be traveling to over the coming months. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ted Fang. I'm with the Asian Week Foundation. I really want to commend Claudine for all her work in putting together today's great event. And I want to commend some of my partners in doing Asian Heritage Month work, including Audrey at the Asian Pacific Fund, which is the leading fund for the Asian American community for many years. And of course, Jay Su, who runs the Asian Art Museum, one of the gathering places for Asians in San Francisco. We are also, the Asian Week Foundation has also been working for the last 8 years on Asian Heritage Month, and we are proud that on Saturday, May 19th, we will be joining with the Asian Art Museum and Target stores and Claudine to hold the Asian Heritage Street Celebration, which is the largest gathering of Asians in America. It also happens right here in front of City Hall and in front of the Asian Art Museum. Over 100,000 people will be here, 10 city blocks, and we are really proud that with San Francisco being the capital of Asian America, we also have the largest event for Asian Americans in this city. So I really thank everybody for being here today and really want to commend Mayor Lee and all of San Francisco for taking leadership in the Asian American community. Thank you very much.
So now this is what I'm waiting for. I hope this is what you're waiting for too. I'd like to bring up the co-chairs. Oh, before I do that, I want to thank Dean Osaki of Target one more time because Target is really the presenting sponsor of many of our major events in the city celebrating APA Heritage Month. Thank you. So now I'd like to bring up Tobin Sujim and Mary Nicely, the co-chairs of our awards committee, to make our exciting announcements.
Thank you very much, Claudine. Let's give Claudine a big round of applause again. And also the other co-chair, there are 3 co-chairs this year, Rose Chung. Let's give her a round of applause. There she is. So, like Claudine was saying, this is the highlight of our event. And to give you a brief background on the awards nominations, the award nominations are submitted by the public through our website at apasf.org. Once again, that's apasf.org. And there you can find the list of nomination criteria for each of the following 3 of our award categories. And this year, since the celebration theme is Celebrate Heritage, Advancing Education, the nomination criteria is focused on achievements in the area of promoting and furthering access as well as opportunities for Asian Pacific Americans in the area of education. Mary?
Morning. So we were delighted as a committee to receive over 50 nominations, which were selected, which we received from all over the Bay Area. And we selected 3 finalists for the Community Leadership Award and the Community Impact Award. We also had a category for Lifetime Achievement, and there's no further announcement on that tonight, but we will be making an announcement at our award ceremony on May 7th. At the Herbst Theater.
And now I am very honored to announce the 3 finalists for the Community Leadership Award. They are Emmeline Lapus, Sokum Mao, and Steve Ngo. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Could you please stand up for a moment? Thank you. You folks do amazing work. Thank you so much. Let's give another big round of applause.
This year was definitely a tough competition, and we definitely found 3 amazing finalists. So I'm going to announce the 3 finalists for the Community Impact Award. They are 4C The Power, CYC Community Youth Center, and JCYC, Japanese Community Youth Council. And do we have representatives with these organizations here today? If you are here, please stand. Oh. Thank you very much. Once again, another really, really tough category, but some fantastic finalists.
Thank you, co-chairs. And I urge all of you to help us spread the word. Bring all your friends down to the APA Heritage Awards ceremony on May 7th at 5:30 at Herbst Theatre. I will be very excited to go hear who the winner is of these awards. I mean, of course, all the finalists, we really want to honor them as well because it's really tough competition. It's really not easy having spent so much of your time and effort in your life on advancing education, and we really, I'm very impressed with all the work that all the nominees and especially the finalists have done. So thank you so very much. And is that all, co-chairs? Sorry? Yeah. Oh, and you're encouraged to come in your ethnic attire, however you want to interpret them to be. Okay, thank you very much, and I think lunch is being served now in the North Light Court, and I hope you have a good time. Thank you for being here.